3, 2, 1. Welcome to our living room.
Let's talk about hello world.
Hello world.
I just got back home from being committed at St. Lawrence Adult Psychiatric Unit, otherwise known as the APU. I was unfamiliar with that anagram before, but now I know what it means.
Is that what an anagram is?
Yeah, it's like the initials of...
Huh. I thought an anagram was when you switch the letters around.
Well, then what's it called when it's the initials of something? Like CIA, FBI, APU...
Acronym.
Acronym! There you go.
Yeah.
Haha,
And
acronym.
And most acronyms spell out a word like scuba, which is self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, APU doesn't. It's not like a word or anything.
No. And if you're interested, look it up.
Right. So, it means that Dan has been on his own since Tuesday night.
I
It is
cannot be
Friday.
responsible for the things I say or do.
That's what he thinks. The law says otherwise.
Yeah, but the law changes all the time,
It's
so...
most freaking stupid.
And,
Oh my gosh.
something's illegal. Yeah, that just means the government doesn't like it right now. It changes all the time.
Speaking of the law, there were a few hiccups with this whole thing.
Yeah.
I was informed by my psychiatrist at the partial program that I was in before that I should go full inpatient. And after a bit of discussion, we agreed. I agreed. And then it took, 12 hours
Yeah.
for it to actually happen.
So
It was...
her doctor said you have a choice. You either voluntarily go in, or we're putting you in. And now I haven't looked up the word choice in a while,
It's not much of a choice.
but that contradicts my understanding of the word choice.
Right. So I went ahead and went voluntarily, thinking that that may make the process a bit easier because I did it voluntarily. No. I was very naive. If you have any questions that are not answered, don't go voluntarily. If you have questions, get them answered. If they're saying that they will put you in there, make them. Because that's a heck of a process, especially if your family or your spouse is not on board with it. Because
Right.
if he had questions that were unanswered as well and did not sign off on me being put there, it would make it much, much harder for them to do it to me.
And when you ask questions, they're like politicians. They will talk and talk and talk and then move on to something else. And if you're not careful or paying attention, you'll realize they didn't answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
And
They just distracted you.
yeah, exactly. You know, well, how long is she going to be in here? Well, we have to check things and we'll see. Well,
What is it that you have to check?
and that's not an answer.
Yeah.
If you don't know, say you don't know, or wait. If you're asking the question, wait for I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't stop asking until you have had your query answered.
To your satisfaction.
To your satisfaction. I was
You
gonna say,
don't
there had
get
to be
to
a better
let
way to
them
say that.
tell you that they answered your question. Don't let them condescend to you and try to make you think you were just too stupid to understand the answer. Because that's another thing they like to do. You are the person that gets to make the decisions.
Yeah, once you have that sign that says patient, or not a literal sign, but or
Yeah, once you sign that piece of paper, it's all over. Your rights are gone.
right. So once you have that label that you're a patient, and especially if it's a part of the mental health atmosphere, then they stop taking you seriously.
They do.
So it is very important to, well, you want to know exactly what you're asking, but that's not necessarily easy to do.
Right. And as the professionals, it is their job to help you, especially if you have any underlying physical issue as well. I have a lot of very serious back issues. My back medication was not there when I was there. I had to fight to get the back medication. The beds there are terrible. I had to fight to get any kind of padding for the bed.
And I had to fight on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to blow up a couple phone lines.
Yeah.
Who started ignoring me. They weren't returning my calls anymore.
I ended up having to get the patient rights advocate to come and talk to me to get the things that I needed for my back. So if you have any kind of underlying physical issues, make sure that those are addressed before you go in. Because once you get in there, they're not going to listen to you about your physical issues. They're not. They don't care. So you definitely want to make sure that that stuff is addressed before you sign your rights away.
And there are few things worse than knowing that the person you love is going through this, on the inside, and you're on the outside, and you can't do anything. I was trying to look into gaining power of attorney so that I could say that, so I could basically have her rights go to me. And she wasn't getting the care that she needed up front. So I wanted to find a way where I could go in and say, my authority trumps yours. I'm taking her out of here, and we're going to take her somewhere where they actually listen to her. But as it turns out, speaking of being naive, I can't just go online, hit a few keystrokes, and I now have power of attorney.
No.
If you want to marry somebody, like you want to marry two people, a couple keystrokes and print, you can do that. This, not so much. And I asked a couple friends about it last night. And one of them works in the healthcare profession. She's one of those frontline essential workers that everybody ignores until they need her. She was telling me how there is a whole process that dumbass me didn't think about. But once she said, it's not just as easy as going online, getting a form, and now you have all this power over another human being. And when she said it that way, I felt extremely stupid. I mean, obviously. But at the time, it was a reaction.
Of a stressful situation like that, you don't think about everything else. You just wanted to fix it for me.
Exactly.
Which I totally appreciate.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And you blowing up those phones really did help. Because me being annoying in there and you being annoying out here is what eventually got us the result we wanted.
Yeah.
Now, the program itself is still really great. I don't want to say that it's not. It is. I got a lot out of groups. And my particular issue that put me in there, which was my other persona, the shrew, becoming much more volatile and much more apparent, is totally gone now. She is back in her cell, completely locked up again.
And that's for a different video, because I haven't even heard this one yet. I don't
want this to be all negative.
Right, yeah,
You definitely have to be careful. And you absolutely have to be your own advocate. And if you're talking about mental health issues, you need somebody else too to be your advocate, whether it's a spouse or a family member or a good friend or whatever. Because when you're talking about mental health issues, they like to brush you off because you have mental health issues, therefore you must be stupid and not know anything.
And with that, I will be looking, we're a team here. So if I say I, most of the time I mean we. Go team! Yeah, fuck them.
Did you just flip them off?
No, I flipped off the people who are making us. There's no good way to say that.
Okay.
You don't really know how much of a team you are until somebody gets in the way.
Yeah.
They got in the way, and that's who the finger was for, not you. Although, maybe a couple of you. I don't know who's all watching. Some of you probably deserve it. But when she said advocate, we had talked to too many people. saying that I was her advocate, and they wanted to, they kept asking, are you her official advocate? I didn't even know that was a thing. I do now, and there's going to be some paperwork filled out so that I am going to be her official advocate. So, any of you watching this have any questions about that, and they're asking, are you this person's advocate, you need to fill out paperwork. So you can say unequivocally, yes, and throw in a motherfucker if you have to. Channel your inner Sam Jackson.
Okay, so this pamphlet is called 5 Wishes.
It is going to be backwards.
This is what, and
honey,
this is something that you would get to make somebody your official advocate. Now, they gave it to me in there when I was asking about it, but I'm trying to see if there's any information about how you can get one. Okay, Aging with Dignity.
Aging with Dignity.
And it's www.agingwithdignity.org, and I'm going to spell it.
I'm going to put a link up for that.
And there's a phone number. It's an 888-594-7437. And that's a good point. I will. I'll put the link and I'll put the phone number down in the description so that you can try and get this 5 wishes, because it's very, very easy to fill out. It explains everything very, very straightforward. And so if you need to have an advocate officially, this is how you would get one.
And just, I want to make something clear, because I'm noticing in the video, and I took a drink from this. This is not what it looks like. This is Red Bull.
Oh my god, I didn't.
Yeah, it occurred to me as I'm sipping off this, like, that looks like beer.
It's not beer.
So, and if I were drinking beer, perhaps you would take what I'm saying a little less seriously. So, just to be perfectly clear, because we have had a crash course experience in people not taking us as seriously as we would like them to.
Right.
So, Red Bull, not beer. I still have all my faculties. Now, if I make a video later, as they were, if I were to make a video later, that might not be the case, but for right now, yes.
So, let's bottom line it. If you're having trouble with your mental health issues, or you have a friend or a family member or a spouse that is having trouble with it, just ask all your questions. Ask all your questions. Don't let them condescend you. Don't let them bully you. Don't get that whole, well, they're the doctor, so they must be right attitude. Yes, they're a doctor. They're your doctor, and you are allowed to question them. If you don't understand why there's a medication change, if you don't understand why they want you to go into the hospital, anything like that, ask questions.
And there is a point that she and I keep making to one another. It's when, I think we talked about illegal before. So there's law and there's medicine. And what do people do with law and medicine? Practice.
That's true.
You know why they practice? Because it's constantly changing. I don't know of a better way to say that. Laws change every day of the week. Medicine is, it works and then it doesn't, and then they find new ways of applying it, synthesizing it. I'm pulling this out of my ass, but I mean, well, no, not totally, because I've seen changes being made because there were, well, after repeated use, we had discovered that X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. So, yes, they're practicing medicine. Just because they say it doesn't make it automatically so. And we're not science deniers or anything like that. I fully believe in science. But I also know it changes.
Okay.
Alright.
So, the other one got cut off because apparently it was too long.
Yeah, it couldn't handle our awesome.
Yes.
It happens.
That's why. It does happen. There's a lot of things that can't handle.
You know what I realized?
What?
This video really rocks.
You're an idiot. He's an idiot.
I just got a new rocking chair. Oh, and look it, look it!
Oh my God.
What?
Stop that. Nobody wants to see that.
Well, nobody wanted to see my butt either. But.
No, they really didn't. They really didn't. No.
So.
Anyway, just a quick little wrap up.
Whatever. Someone's calling. The 800 number. I
Yeah.
didn't think those existed anymore.
Anyway. Be your own advocate.
Be your advocate.
But I don't want this to deter anybody from getting help.
No.
99% of the people that work in the mental health field are fantastic. Fantastic. They are there because they care. They're there because they want to help. They do wonderful, wonderful things. You get these bad eggs every once in a while that are there because they're bullies and they like to control things, and they do think that they should just be able to experiment on the mental health patients.
Funny how that is coinciding with the law these days.
Right?
They're everywhere.
So yes, occasionally there's a bad egg. And sometimes it's not even about them being a bad egg. Maybe they just had a bad day. They're making a human mistake because they are human just like everybody else. So yeah, I don't in any way want this to deter anybody from getting help. I strongly, strongly recommend that you check out, if you're looking for a therapist, maybe psychologytoday.com. I'll put a link to that. If you need any kind of like more immediate help, I already put down the National Suicide Prevention Hotline in my last mental health video. Maybe I'll just put them in all of them.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
Yeah, I'll just put it all in all of them, just in case you need it. And they will be able to help you if you're not in the Lansing area. So, of course, you wouldn't be familiar with St. Lawrence or New Oakland or any of those places that we talked about.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to another video for a link. I mean, once you're done with the video,
That's
you
true.
move on to something else.
That's a good point.
It's the YouTube way.
It's the YouTube way. Anyway, my 3 days there, although we did have some hiccups that need to get ironed out, we will be talking to the director of the psychiatric unit. I will continue to try to advocate for patients and to make this process a little bit less scary, because we're people too, and we can be really freaking awesome. And most likely we're smarter than everybody else, because statistically people with mental illnesses have a higher IQ than people without a mental illness.
Go,
So,
genius!
if we got the help we needed, we could rock the fucking world. So.
Yeah, next time it'll be my turn.
Oh dear Lord, help us all. So we did. We just wanted to do just a little update, little recap, kind of about what's been going on with our week, and maybe we'll do something a little bit more fun over the weekend.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time.
Like
and
a movie or something.
we actually have people who have subscribed to this. So, that's only encouraging us.
And just so anybody knows, if you left comments or questions or whatever, obviously I've been in the hospital. He's been devastated. So
It's true.
neither of us have looked at any comments, so
It's
please don't
true.
be insulted if you haven't been responding
When she's
to.
not here, I'm only half here.
But-
And I'm not making that up.
You're really happier most of the time.
So I'm a quarter here. It's true. I hate it when she's gone. It sucks.
Sweet.
And so I end up sitting here watching TV with less clothes on than I'm wearing now.
Oh,
You're welcome.
right, just be glad I put pants on for this. Well, kind of pants. They're not really pants, but we won't go there.
The law says they're pants. And that's good enough for me.
Okay, so we should wrap this up because this is going to be a really long video.
It already is.
Any
That's
last
alright.
little tips for family members, spouses, anything?
No. Yes, when someone is saying that they need help, listen. And this goes back to what we've been talking about before. If you're not getting the response that you need to hammer the point. And if the people that you thought were there for you aren't, you need to go to someone else. I don't know what that would look like. I don't have very many people in my life that can help with this or even understand it, and the ones that I do have, I'm just learning about. So there's that. But this is a serious issue, and you would actually be surprised who can relate and who will otherwise be there for you.
Yeah.
I know that kind of contradicts what I just said, but if there was a hard and fast rule about this, hard and fast, then, it would be easier. Yeah, she's gone for a minute. It's okay. I'm very fun.
You're very stupid.
I'm just glad to have her
Anyway,
back.
if you can't find a friend or family member that you think can help you with this, ask at the hospital for the patient rights advocate. There is one. Don't let them tell you there's not. Don't let them bully you out. Oh, well, why do you need one? What do you need to talk to them for? What's the problem? No, none of your business. I want the patient rights advocate. That's all you have to say.
I like to
want
just
the
stare
patient
at
rights
them.
advocate.
I like to just stare at them until they give me what I want.
Yeah. I just repeat myself. I would like the patient rights advocate, please. I would like the patient's right 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 advocate, please. And you just say it like that, and you just say it politely, but you just keep saying it. Get what you need to get what you need.
And I just keep doing this.
And sometimes his eyes will get bigger, and it gets really creepy.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Stop it! Alright, video's done. I gotta poop.